100 relay.
And Tom, she's still better at 200 meters, but she runs well on this track. Had a series of personal bests at 200 meters here last year, and you said very good relay credentials. But this is no doubt her weaker event, so she'll try to get through in this first round.
Lane assignments with the top 3 finishers plus the next 6 fastest moving to the semifinals. Bianca Knight is in lane 3. Tiana Madison is in lane 6. And in lane 4 is Barbara Pierre, 25 years old, who was second to Tiana Madison in the 60 meters at the U.S. Indoor Championships. She was born in Haiti, moved to the U.S. when she was 5 years old, now an American citizen.
When we talked about indoor specialists trying to make that transition to the outdoor distance, she was 4th at the World Indoor Championships and has had a good 2012 outdoor season thus far. So Pierre will go in 4, Madison in 6, and Bianca Knight in 3. The wind has been just about 1 meter per second for the hurdle races, so should keep the times pretty fast, Tom.
On your mark.
As we get a final shot of Tiana Madison. New personal best, as we said, 10.97. And has defeated both Jeter and Allison Felix thus far in 2012.
And there's the gun with a fair start, and Madison is away well. Madison is there, and Knight and Pierre coming for the line. It will be Madison to win it. Madison will take it with Tarmo, Jennifer Tarmo, getting in there to move ahead as well. But Madison got a good start and held it throughout. Tarmo was second. Bianca Knight took third.
I spoke to Tiana Madison's coach, and Tom, he said she could probably make the Olympic team in the 100, the 200, as well as the long jump, but they are completely focused. There she is in 6, Tiana Madison. They are completely focused on not just making this team, but on winning the Olympic trials. And with that sort of start and powering her way down this straightaway at Hayward Field, she certainly looks good. Tarmo in 2nd is a training partner of Allison Felix, so no surprise that she came up for 2nd. She looked good. Bianca Knight in 3rd in 11.26.
So here are the official results in this opening heat in the women's 100 meters. Tiana Madison 11.10, Tarmo and Knight automatically moving ahead to tomorrow's semifinal round.
On your mark.
And this heat includes English Gardner, the reigning NCAA champion. She just finished her sophomore year here at the University of Oregon.
Tom, she ran so well, there's a little bit of a doubt now as to whether she's going to return for her final 2 years at Oregon. She really seems to be one of the big finds of this 2012 collegiate season.
Gardner in lane 5, and sure to get a roar from the crowd as she races down the 100 meters, trying to make the U.S. Olympic team as a rising junior at Oregon. And there's the gun, and she's in the center of the track. English Gardner trying to take command of the race with Scott just to her inside, and to her outside Freeman and Anderson. It will be Anderson that wins it. Freeman 2nd and Gardner 3rd.
So the former Texas Longhorn, Alexandria Anderson, is able to overhaul the hometown Lady English Gardner.
Gardner with a wave to the crowd after finishing 3rd to move to the semis.
And there's English Gardner at 5. But I tell you, Tom, she kind of snapped her head up in the middle of this race. She's not racing against collegiates anymore. And the more experienced Alexandria Anderson on the outside are in a more even race. And she's able to overhaul her, bringing Octavius Freeman, whom English Gardner defeated at the NCAA Championships just a couple weeks ago.
Official results: Alex Anderson 11.19 with Freeman and Gardner automatically qualifying for the semifinal round. So coming up now, heat 3 in the women's 100 meters, the opening round of the women's 100, and The favorite is in this heat, and that would be Carmelita Jeter. Carmelita Jeter, ranked #1 in the world at 100 meters the last 3 years, and has the fastest time in the world this year, 10.81. Didn't even make the final at the 2008 Olympic trials, but since that time she has been coming on like gangbusters, including in Daegu, South Korea last year at the World Championships.
And Tom, she had been to the World Championship final twice before and taken home 2 bronzes. But despite the great start to her left, she was able to take control in the latter half of this race and claim her first World 100-meter title. That win also saw her ranked #1 in the world for the 2011 season.
So the reigning world champion, and now trying to atone for that bad performance at the Olympic trials 4 years ago and get a trip to London. Here are the lane assignments in this heat. Remember, the top 3 automatically move ahead to the semifinals, plus the next 6 fastest. And Carmelita Jeter is in lane 3. In lane 2 is Jessica Young, a finalist in the 100 meters at the U.S. Championships last year.
Former All-American from TCU. When we come to the trials, Tom, it's the sort of talent that Jessica Young has, where if you can get it together for this week, just for these 2 days, in fact, she could be someone who could surprise if anyone else falters. Immense talent on the part of Jessica Young.
Just 24 years old.
She has a good lane draw because the person that I want to be next to in this race is certainly Carmelita Jeter, who will be to her right in lane 3. Carmelita Jeter, we talked about at the top, just has not been having the sort of season you expect from the reigning world champion. But she's coached by my former coach, John Smith, who has a knack of getting his athletes ready when it is time for the big races. And American athletes cannot even start to think about the Olympic Games until they think about getting through and getting on the top 3 at their trials.
Interesting outfit that Carmelita is wearing.
Well, there's been a lot of talk about her trying to protect a hamstring that has been ailing her. So you see her wearing a lot more clothes than everybody else. And that brown and black outfit that she has on has been given only to those who are reigning world champions. So that's something to look for. Anybody who runs in that color outfit at these trials is a reigning world champion.
And pink shoes to go with it.
That's right.
And the gun sends them down the track, and Carmelita Jeter and Jessica Young come away together. And now Carmelita surges to the front to take command of the race, and she'll pull away at the line. It'll be Carmelita Jeter winning with authority in her opening round heat here at the Olympic trials.
And just as I said, forget everything that has happened in the so-called regular season. It is championship time. And this young lady is a veteran, as we said, of 3 world championship 100-meter finals now. And there she is in 3. This is the way someone who is headed to big things at the Olympic Games is supposed to look in their first round. Very, very comfortable. There's no urgency in her movement or on her face. Halfway down, she starts to tuck those arms in, and that is a commanding win in 11.20 seconds, putting away this field quite comfortably.
So Carmelita Jeter looking good in her first race here at the Olympic trials. Chelsea Hayes got second, and Alexis Love was third. Those 3 automatically move ahead to the semifinal round. Jessica Young finished in 4th place. As we go down to the infield and join, the trials began here at Hayward Field. And now we turn our attention back to the women's 100 meters and Allison Felix. Remember, she at the World Championships did the double in the 200, her specialty, and the 400, but this time electing to go 100 and 200.
And part of the reason that this decision was made a little bit easier is because she started off the year in May with a new personal best, 10.92, and took down a lot of ladies that will probably factor in London. So she went to her coach and said, "Coach, I want to do a double, just maybe not the one you think I want to do. I want to do the 100 and the 200. She does have decent 100-meter credentials at championship level. She was the national champion back in 2010.
One of the best all-round sprinters in the world and of all time. And she will be in lane 4 in this opening heat in the women's 100. And Shalonda Solomon will be next door in lane 5. Gold medalists in the 4x100 relay at the World Championships last year.
She had a career year in 2011. She was 4th at the World Championships at 200 meters. Like Bianca Knight, that is probably her better event. But the strategy of a lot of the coaches of 200-meter specialists is to let them run the rounds, get a feel of the track, and sharpen up a bit for their pet event.
And there's Lauren Williams, now 28 years old. She's taken a whole haul of championship medals over the years, although she has been struggling the last couple.
Yeah, there was a time when there were no American teams in the 100 meters that did not include Lauren Williams. That streak ended in 2011. So trying to get back to the Olympics, she was the silver medalist in Athens in 2004 and made the final as well in Beijing.
Allison Felix in lane 4, didn't get away that quickly. Solomon has the lead. Now Felix comes alongside. As they come toward the line, Felix does take over the lead and will win it. And finishing in second, it looked like Lauren Williams. And Allison Felix, a little slow out of the blocks, but was able to take command of the race about halfway through. Lauren Williams did get second, and Solomon was third.
Well, I can tell you, Tom, I tend to grade Allison Felix on a curve, and she's in lane 5. Excuse me,
Lane
4.
four,
There
yeah.
she is. I was tracking her for a second there. I grade her on a curve because she usually starts so poorly. This is actually one of her better starts. Shalonda Solomon can really start well. And you see by the midway point of the race, it's pretty much no contest as Lauren Williams gets up for second. But this is not a bad race by Allison Felix by any stretch. I do think, like you said, she's going to have to start a little better when she lines up next to the likes of Carmelita Jeter. But that was a decent race in 11:19 for Felix.
Official results, Allison Felix 11.19, Lauren Williams and Shalonda Solomon move to the semifinals.